Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Julie and I have been just goofing around behind the scenes here quick before we go live. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Do us a favor, let me know if you can hear us in the chat. That'd be great. Testing. How's the sound? Let us know in the chat, please. Welcome everybody. Thank you. It's perfect. Caitlin, thanks a lot. So tonight we're here. Julie's hanging out on her front porch. And we're going to chat about
gray hair and stress bubbles and rushing and wanting silver streaks and getting pink or blue and green. Anyways.
All the fun stuff. Yeah, that's what we talk about behind the scenes. You know what, Julie? We should do a behind the scenes reel sometime.
Oh
Wouldn't that be fun?
No. That would just be, yeah, no, that'd be crazy.
I mean, I think it would be kind of cool, behind the scenes look. Anyways, okay, let's get started. If you have questions, the session's going to run for about an hour. If you have questions, do me a favor, put them in the Q&A area. If you hover at the bottom of this meeting, you'll see a Q&A where you can submit. I'll moderate questions. Julie's here. She's an open book. She's hanging out for an hour, and we're talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. So thanks for joining us again. I've got a question here already, Julie, unless you want to start a little bit.
No, I was going to ask everybody how everyone's doing. They can put it in the chat how everybody's doing, how everybody else's stress level is, because mine is like insanely high at the moment. But I'm wondering how everybody else is, hopefully better, because it's not as, it's a little less stressful right now, hopefully.
Yeah, here's hoping.
I'm doing great. Very low stress. Beth Kid. Awesome.
Yeah. That's nice to hear. If you can keep it down, that's great. That's important. Okie dokie. Ooh, I think I know the answer to this one, Julie. I'm going to start here. Louise said, what do you use for fly spray for horses? You know who I saw? Sarah Griffiths.
That's what I use. I use her brand.
So let me get that out to you, Louise.
Can you put that on there for them?
Yeah, absolutely I can. I'm just going to look it up. Let me ask the second question before I go ahead and put Sarah's info there. Jan, she messaged me today, and she works with quite a few dogs on a daily basis. She's got about 10 under her care at the moment. Mm-hmm. All of them have been weaned off of Apoquil and steroids. They've all been switched to a raw diet.
Awesome.
Some of them get better much quicker than others. We worry about yeast dying off too quickly when we give probiotics. She uses our products. Do you have any advice? She's thinking, for example, could adding Fido's Flora make the yeast die off quickly? Would it be beneficial?
Well, if they're using the Yeasty Beast, it should be, and they have yeast, then the die-off should be slower, and the enzyme for yeast that's in it should be able to ingest the dying skeletal systems so that you don't get the Herxheimer reaction, or you're not getting a toxic buildup from the dead yeast cells.
Awesome.
But Fido's Flora is the easy way to think about this is that if you do it slowly, like Fido's Flora is really unique because you're not doing the leaky gut protocol. There's less of the 14 strains, and there's the detoxification of the humic and fulvic acid, right? So the humic and fulvic acid, even though it's an incredible mineral, it's giving your dog minerals that that can't be replicated. That's a really important part with this fulvic and humic acid. It can't be replicated by synthetics, right? Because it is organic minerals that we don't even know, we don't even have them even anymore on the mineral table. So they're feeding the body minerals, but these particular minerals, because of what they are made from have a chelation ability. So it pulls heavy metals, even glyphosates, out of the body. It helps to detox the body from toxins. So it also has been proven now, and we can actually use health claims saying that it helps with the permeability of the gut. So when you're in this place, Fido's Flora is such a unique product, because when you're in this place of going, is it yeast? Is it leaky gut? If I do leaky gut, is the yeast going to die too quickly? But then if I do the Yeasty Beast protocol, I am going to have to deal with leaky gut because yeast causes leaky gut, right? So when you're using Fido's Flora, the amount of probiotics is less in Fido's Flora than it is in the leaky gut protocol. So you're not intensifying the amount of colony forming units in the probiotic, and then you have the immune modulation effect of the canine species, which is really, really beneficial with any kind of yeast overgrowth or any gut problems at all, because it causes immune mediated diseases, right? So I would say that Fido's Flora is one of our strongest products if you're not 100% what's going on to start off with, because it will help with yeast. It will rebuild the gut. It'll help with the gut lining, and it'll detox and give minerals. Like, it's a pretty phenomenal little bottle of product. So if you're in that boat where you don't know what's going on, or you do have a dog that has severe autoimmune diseases, it's a really, really good place to start. And then it's a really good place to do interim. So you can start with it, get the animal stronger. Then you could go to leaky gut or to the Yeasty Beast. And then you can go back to the Fido's Flora. And then if they're balanced and they're strong, then you can start the leaky gut protocol too, right? So you can interchange them. But if you're worried at all and you start with Fido's Flora, you don't have to worry that you're starting off with the wrong thing.
Awesome. Perfect. Might as well start with the big guns if you can.
It's big guns, but it can be gentler, if that makes sense. Like, Gutsu is incredibly gentle for any kind of gut irritation. But what happens sometimes is that if there is a really large buildup of yeast and you start the leaky gut, it boosts the immune system, or strengthens the immune system and strengthens the body's ability to get rid of foreign invaders, kind of, that it will kill the yeast exponentially quickly. And then you'll get a Herxmeyer reaction, which looks like the dog is getting worse, but really what's happening is the yeast is just crashing and dying really, really fast. So Fido's Flora is a really big gun, but it is, I would say it's a gentler approach when you're in a place where you don't know where to start because your dog is so bad.
Yeah, that's where we started my dog. That's the same spot. Susan's asking, can you use Yeasty Beast and Fido's Flora together?
No, because the whole concept, well, you shouldn't. You can eventually, you could definitely, as a maintenance protocol, it would be great to use together. But initially, the idea with Yeasty Beast is that it kills the yeast, but there's with no probiotics. Okay, so no probiotics. So that's what you use when you know for sure that your dog has a massive yeast infection, a massive problem, because the enzyme that's in it, like the podarco and the caprylic acid and all of the yeast busters, or the things that kill yeast, we have a specific enzyme in it that then goes and munches away at the yeast as it's dying, so that you don't get a big cemetery in the gut of dead yeast. because then it creates, instead of creating 15 toxins like yeast does normally when it's alive, it can create 30 to over 100 different toxins when it's dead, and it's breaking down in the gut after it's dead, when it's just sitting there like a big skeletal pile of dead yeast. That's what Herxmeyer reaction is. A reaction that is an overload of almost like an off gas in the body when you're killing toxins too quickly. And sometimes that can be toxins from Lyme disease. They call it a herx. So you're killing the Lyme disease, and everybody's happy that you're killing the Lyme disease, but the person or the animal feels so sick that they can hardly function, because there's almost like an off-gassing of the death of the bacteria or the protozoa or the yeast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you want to be careful, because people think they're getting worse, or they think the dogs are getting worse. And really they're not getting worse. They're just getting a really strong die-off. So we wanted to create a product that would be able to slowly kill the yeast without creating too big of a die-off, that then you're going, oh my gosh, this animal's getting worse, but it's really not getting worse. You're killing, the yeast isn't getting worse, the yeast is dying, and the body's feeling like crapola because of the amount of toxins.
Right. Awesome. Thanks, Julie.
Okay.
Good to know. Tina. Hi, Julie. Would you talk about comfrey a little bit? I read that it is considered unsafe for internal use and might cause harm to liver and kidney. My dog is a bit of an elevated liver enzyme, and she's on Jump for Joints and Inflapotion from Glacier Peak. Do I need to be worried?
Does Inflapotion have comfrey in it?
I'll go look. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
No, I'm going to look past to.
And then while we're waiting, I had a nice note from someone on Facebook here.
I don't know if they have like comfrey. Like, what you have to remember is that when comfrey is like in homeopathics, like Symphytum,
Mm-hmm.
there is no contraindication with poison, right? Because one of the number one used remedies in homeopathic medicine is things like belladonna, which is like incredibly deadly if you took it in a natural source, or arsenicum, which is arsenic, or lachesis, which is snake venom, or apis, which is bee venom. So homeopathy, you don't have to worry about contraindications of anything homeopathic that are unsafe for dogs, or unsafe for cats, or unsafe for horses, or unsafe for people. There is no such thing in homeopathy, because the crude substance is removed, and it's just the energy of the medicine that's left. So you can be allergic to bees and get stung by a bee, and take apis, which is bee venom, and then it does the opposite. It actually balances the body with the venom that you just got stung with. Or if you were to get hives and you were allergic to bees, you could take apis, or your dog's allergic to bees, you can take apis. In fact, apis is one of the best things to take if you do have a bee allergy or a venom allergy or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you don't have to, when it comes to homeopathy, don't worry. Like if your dog is, if you hear, let's use I don't even know, whatever, like chocolate. How about that? So there is a remedy made from chocolate.
Sure.
You could give that remedy to dogs, or you could give allium sepia to dogs, and allium sepia is onions, and onions are really dangerous for dogs.
Right.
When it's in a homeopathic form, nobody has to worry about contraindications with drugs, like steroids or statins or heart meds or, you know, anything like that. And you also don't have to worry about things that are animals that are allergic to that particular thing, or that even that's poisonous, because there is no crude substance in homeopathy.
That's good to know. That's
Mhm.
super helpful. Awesome. And yes, there is comfrey in the infla potion. But like you said, it probably shouldn't matter.
Well, infla potion is herbs. It's not homeopathy. Jump for Joints has symphytum in it, and symphytum is comfrey. So
Okay.
when she was asking about, am I worried, do I get worried about comfrey? I don't worry about it in Jump for Joints at all, because it's homeopathic. As far as infla potion, I know that Deb has used it tons and tons and tons of times with hundreds of animals, hundreds of dogs. And I'm sure she would not be putting it in, or she wouldn't be putting it in the dosage that she's using, if there was a concern. But that's something you should probably give Deb an email with, and ask her directly what her opinion is on that. But I mean, I've used it with my dogs, I use it with my horses, so I'm not concerned about it. But again, it's not my product, so it's best to email Glacier Peaks and ask them.
Perfect. Awesome. We've got a couple questions here about homeopathy, Julie. Maybe, and not only questions about homeopathy, people want you to do a homeopathy Ask Julie Anything. How do you feel about that?
I will. And you can, for people that really want to like delve into homeopathy too, that thing I'm doing with Sammy Dog, Amanda, we're going to really dive into homeopathy too. So watch for our our information on Facebook. Or when I'm going to be doing that. What date am I doing that?
That is Saturday, August 29th with Sama Dog Wellbeing. Amanda Ree, she was on the show, oh gosh, was it last week or the week before?
6 weeks ago.
Yeah. So that'll be coming up. We'll put that on our Facebook page shortly. I think I'm going to touch base with her.
But no, I'd ask me anything homeopathy. That'd be awesome. I'm totally down for that. That'd be fun.
Awesome. Heather's curious, what are some proactive things people can do to ensure a long, healthy life for their cats? This might be a question that we could also ask next week when the two crazy cat ladies are here. And she's also asking, do you do homeopathic consults for people?
Me? I don't. I stopped giving my kitty health yet. She should find out what she's asking. I'm licensed to do people. I knew that I didn't have the patience to do people like an hour into my program, my 4-year program, my 4-year human homeopathic medicine program. I get treated by my homeopath. Her name is Linda Miller. She's incredible. Andrea Ring also takes patients, but Linda Miller, I'm going to get her. Oh, she. Hold on. Linda Miller. She's my homeopath. Can you put this out for me, Steph?
Absolutely.
Linda F. Miller. So LINDAF.
Yep.
Like Frank Miller, MILLER, at me.com. And whoever wants to reach out for her for human homeopathy, she's incredible. She teaches in the Calgary University, and I did a thing with her program, and I did a animal homeopathic course for people at the Calgary University, the University of Calgary. And Linda's incredible. She's trained with some of the best homeopaths in the world. She's a pretty phenomenal lady.
I remember looking through some pictures that you had from when you were teaching there.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Oh,
She was so cool because she was an opera singer before.
really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. That is
Yeah.
tough.
She was an opera singer, and then she got into herbology, and she opened a health food store, and then she did her homeopathic medicine program. She's a brilliant lady.
Awesome. Awesome. Linda F. Miller at me.com. If anyone wants to touch base with her, human homeopath. Okay, so you were asking about that question in the chat there. It was from C. Vaughn, I believe. I stopped giving my kitty healthy gut for a few days, and then he had soft/smelly stool. Once he went back on it for a few days, his stools improved and got better. Do I now need to give him a supplement like this for life?
Can you ask her how long he was on it?
Sure. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind letting us know in the chat, we could give you a hand. It says he was on healthy gut for a few days.
Only?
Oh, a few months. Thank you. There we go.
Yeah, no, he should be back on it. I have a really strong opinion about enzymes. Karen Becker and I have similar opinions. We feel like animals are really, really depleted in digestive enzymes, and that's because we still can't feed a true prey diet unless your cats are outside hunting mice. I have a fly bugging me here. Unless your cats are outside hunting mice and or birds or whatever, they're not getting a full prey model, and only because it's illegal. Like you can't put in a full prey in the government doesn't allow that to happen in raw dog food. So they are really, really lacking in digestive enzymes that they would be getting from like the brain and the spleen and the intestines and all the bits. I call them the bits. All the bits that we can't put in, the eyeballs, we're still really lacking in that. Mm-hmm. So I feel like digestive enzymes are really important. I would go, if you're just starting and they get soft poo, if that's the reason that you started, I would stay on digestive enzymes for a good 6 months. And then you can rotate it with something else, right? In 6 months, we'll probably have I guess I can tell everybody. We'll probably,
oh boy,
same as, but you know what, guys, it's like, it's coming, it's close. But it's I don't know when, but we're going to be having our cat, like our Fido's Flora. We have one for cats now. So a cat specific probiotic. So that would really help. So you could rotate it with that. You can rotate it with Fido Synergy. You can rotate it with feline Gutsu. And then go back, right? So you can use a container of healthy gut, then go on a container of feline Gutsu, then go on a container of Fido Synergy, and then go back onto healthy gut, and then I'll go on like a feline, because we're going to be selling that too separately. So going on oh my God, easy peasy powder. So what cat species okay, anyways, I should stop looking at the chats. So for a really healthy cat, it's not any different than a really healthy dog.
Yeah.
The way Adored Beast products are made is system oriented. So it's not just for one thing, it's for an entire system. So if you went through a bottle of Healthy Gut, and then you went on to a bottle of Gut Soothe, and then you went on to a bottle of Easy Peasy, what you're doing is the digestive enzyme feeds the cells, it feeds the digestive tract, it makes sure that the body's ingesting the food properly and digesting the food, and the bioavailability is there, and it's giving pre and probiotics. And then you go on Gut Soothe, and you're looking at permeability, you're looking at healing the gut lining, you're looking at all kinds of stuff from lungs to like intestinal walls. Then you go on to the phytosynergy, let's say. Phytosynergy is really targeted for essential fatty acids, incredible for amino acids, probably has the highest amino profile, the most amino acids in a profile I've probably ever seen. And amino acids are so good for cats because it's really good for the thyroid, really good for the kidneys, really good for the heart, lots of things that cats get. And then you could go on the easy peasy powder, and with cats and bladder, right? And then the easy peasy powder would be, the system would be for the bladder, but it still has pre and probiotics in it. So you're not throwing away the intestine either. So they're made to be able to rotate, always looking at the gut, always keeping an eye on the gut, but then rotating for just different body systems. So if you just rotate through all of the Adored Beast feline friendly products, you will be keeping your cat really healthy. My cat is my lap watching. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. And it's good to know that you design the products that way, that you can finish one up, pick another one up.
Right. And you don't even have to really be like, it's not rocket science, right? Like, unless, let's say you're having a problem, let's say you're on healthy gut and all of a sudden you notice that maybe she's visiting or he's visiting the litter box more often, right? Then when you go over onto the easy peasy, right? Go through an easy peasy, then go on to phytosynergy, then go on to Gutsu, then go back onto healthy gut.
Yeah, you made them super user friendly, easy to use.
Really friendly. You don't have to stress about it. You can just go from one product to the next and then back.
Yeah. Catherine's got a question here. Is there a natural, I just want to do a quick reminder. If you want to ask a question, do me a favor and put it in the Q&A. And then I've got a queue of them here to ask Julie. Catherine wants to know, is there a natural solution for environmental allergies?
Well, I honestly believe that most environmental allergies stem from the gut, right? So, because when your gut and skin or inhaling, right? So, but what is all that? Is sort of mucous membrane. So, environmental allergies, you want to keep your cat, your dog's body, you want to keep its environment as its own environment, right? So you want to keep it a diverse ecosystem. So the ecosystem of anything, any body, whether it's person, cat, dog, horse, pig, cow, doesn't matter. We want to keep the bacteria as diverse as possible in the body. So when you're looking at environmental allergies, I would personally really hone in on the gut, because if the pollen or the grasses or whatever they're allergic to, flea saliva, when you're thinking if there's an allergy to that means that it's been able to bypass the natural immune response, which is usually through the gut lining. So the stronger that you can make the gut lining, the healthier and more diverse the ecosystem is in the gut, the less reactive they will become to environmental allergies. And sometimes we really don't know whether they're allergies or they're sensitivities, or are they leaky gut? Is the gut allowing these environmental molecules into the bloodstream where they shouldn't be going into the bloodstream? So I would say for that is to do that. If it's, don't bathe them a lot with shampoo. Like, don't use shampoo at all if you can possibly help it, because what you want to do is you want to make the skin super duper duper healthy, from a perspective of being able to ward off invaders like pollen and whatever the animal is, like grass pollen, whatever. So if you want to rinse them, rinsing them is good to get the pollens and stuff off when they go, when they come in the house. But my favorite thing to rinse them with is green tea or chamomile tea, or a mixture of green and chamomile tea. So you can put them in the tub and you can pour the tea over them, or specifically where they've been walking in it. So on their feet and on their legs, maybe on their chest. Rinse the pollens off with especially green tea. Green tea is really good for reducing things like toxins and pollens. So, but if they're already irritated or itchy dogs or cats, then chamomile mixed with green tea is really good because it's soothing. So rinse them off. If it's a dog, once a month, do a love bugs mask, right? Where you mix kefir or yogurt with we have our, maybe Steffi could put it in the chat.
Yep.
Do you have it? The love bugs mask?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and do a love bugs mask if you're really feeling like they need extra support. Do a love bugs mask once a week or once every couple of weeks, and that will help to plant the proper bacteria or more bacteria, friendly bacteria on the skin. That then is the first mode of defense against environmental toxins.
That's great, Julie. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Here's a big one for you. I'll get that topical mask in the chat shortly. Caitlin's asking, what are your thoughts on vaccinations for dogs? And what would you do if a dog has been vaccinated / over-vaccinated?
What's my opinion? Well, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, right? So I'm not like anti-vaccine. I'm definitely anti-certain vaccines absolutely without a doubt. Like I'm anti-Lyme vaccine and I'm anti-lepto vaccine, and I'm anti some vaccines. And really it depends on where you live too, right? So I shouldn't say I'm fully anti everything, but to me, the best mode of defense with everything, like absolutely everything, is the immune system. Having a healthy immune system, you are going really healthy gut and a really healthy immune system and a healthy diet and a healthy lifestyle when it comes to as mitigating stress as much as possible. You are 10 steps ahead of any, in my opinion, vaccinations. When they're puppies, at my clinic, I would say we had half of we had a really, really a big clientele. I would say half of my clientele wanted to vaccinate and half of them didn't want to vaccinate at all. And the ones that wanted to vaccinate, we did single monovalent vaccination. So we only vaccinated for one thing at a time. So usually it was parvo. And then a month later, we did distemper. And we never ever vaccinated before 10 weeks. And that would have been our earliest. We tried to wait till 12. And then we would vaccinate, and then we would titer even after the first vaccination. And I know everyone says, oh, well, that's not the protocol. It isn't the protocol, but I'll tell you, we did hundreds of dogs, and we would titer in 6 months to be sure, just to be on the safe side. Then we would titer in a year, and we would make sure that these dogs are keeping their antibody levels up. So, distemper, parvo are the two that I'm the most at ease with. but still not at ease under 10 weeks of age. Like I don't believe that anything should be vaccinated under 10 weeks. And that's because the mother's maternal antibodies are still in effect till 10, start to decline around 9 weeks. And if you vaccinate before the decrease of those maternal antibodies, a bunch of things can happen. You can play havoc on the immune system. So the immune system becomes really confused, and it can literally be the start of autoimmune type symptoms, because the immune system just doesn't even know what to do. The next thing that can happen is that the body can literally cancel the two out. So the maternal antibodies cancel out the vaccine antibodies, and then the vaccine antibodies cancel out the maternal antibodies, and then the puppy doesn't have any protection at all and is much more susceptible to getting any kind of virus. So that's what we did at my clinic. And for people that didn't want to vaccinate at all, we did Dr. Richard Pitcairn's homeopathic no-zode protocol. And for puppies that are animals that I feel have been over-vaccinated, two big things. We would do our anti-vaccinosis. I mean, that's how I came up with the product that we sell, is because we use that product in the clinic a lot. And again, just strengthening the immune system, because over-vaccinations causes a shift in, or poor vaccination protocols causes a shift in the vital force, which causes a shift in the gut microbiome. So then again, they're more susceptible to all kinds of things like allergies and sensitivities and autoimmune diseases and everything under the sun. So getting the gut healthy, doing an anti-vaccinosis, using products that are going to support the gut, and lots of antioxidants like, superoxide dismutase, which is in phytoplankton, and just really good diets and lots of love and air. And there's you can deal with over vaccinations, and you can deal with vaccinosis, which is the side effects or the what happens if an animal has been over vaccinated.
Yeah. Awesome. And the recipe's in the chat. And if you want the anti-vaccinosis link, let me know and I can pop it in the chat as well. Susan is curious. Hi, Susan. What do we give a dog for fleas and ticks? And she says, massive thanks for being here tonight, Julie. I'm so grateful.
You're welcome. Am I blurry?
Maybe a little bit. It's hard for me to tell on my little screen over here. I think you look okay. We can hear you and we can see you. Yeah.
Okay. Man, I'm trying to. Yeah, my internet's been really weird all day. Okay, so sorry, what was the question?
What do we give a dog for fleas and ticks?
Oh. A good one. Well, Wondercide is good.
Okay.
Wondercide's very good. You just
Awesome.
be careful with, and for dogs, right?
She didn't specify.
Just be careful with cats, because some cats are really, really sensitive to cedar
Dogs.
oil.
Yes, dogs.
Dogs. Okay, yeah, no, Wondercide's really a good product.
Awesome.
It is. Yeah.
That's a great. And hey, can you talk a little bit about what you do at your farm for fleas and ticks?
Yeah, I use Wondercide.
Yeah.
And I can't use it on my one cat. He's too sensitive to it. In fact, he's so sensitive to this essential oil that I have to keep him away from the other cats when I do use it. I'm also using something. I'm just trying something right now. It's called Finecto, and it's from Belgium, I think. But it's called Finecto. F-I-N. I just actually texted the guy, not texted, WhatsApped him today. Yeah, Fin, it's okay, Henry. FINECTO. And
Awesome.
it's for horses, and it's for dogs and chickens. And it's something that you feed them, and you feed them, and you can put it on too, but it's supposed to kill. It's supposed to emanate even something that repels anything that's ectoskeletal, which is what ticks are, and so are fleas. So I've just started using them in mites. I did a stupid thing. Well, it wasn't that stupid, but it was kind of stupid. I love birds. I just love birds. And I started feeding pigeons here. Because I saved, I rescued some pigeons, and these little white pigeons. And then, anyways, I set them free, and they were flying around, and then more pigeons came, like wild pigeons. So then I had to feed everybody. So then they were in my barn, and they were pooping all over the barn, and it was like, so then I created this whole upstairs floor on a different horse shelter that I have for just my pigeons, just the wild pigeons. But pigeons they don't get sick from them, but they carry mites. They're called feather mites. And horses that have long feathers on there, like draft horses and horses with the big long feathers on their feet, tend to get these mites. So I rescued a horse, and he also had mites when he came, big draft horse. Make a long story short, I found this product for mites, and it also works for fleas and ticks because of the ectoskeletal part of what's they can't handle.
Right.
So yeah, I was even thinking about like sarcoptic mange and things like that. It's a really interesting product. It's all natural. You can check it out. It was really good. I ordered it, and it came like 10 days later. So that was something to look at too for fleas and ticks. I'm feeding it to my dogs. Like it goes in their food.
Very cool. Awesome. That's a few really great things that we can do. Robin has purchased Healthy Gut and Gutsu. What's better for a 13-year-old cat that has a hairball constipation issue only in the summer shedding season? The cat eats raw. What do I start with, and should I rotate? Thank you.
You're welcome. I would start off with Healthy Gut. Healthy Guts really works well with. There's two different things. If the fur ball is creating inflammation in the gut, then Gutsu works really good, and it makes everything smooth and slippery so that the hairball can be thrown up really easily, right? The Healthy Gut works sort of the opposite, where it helps to digest the hair so that they poop it out. So I would say if the cat's poop has a tendency to be, I would alternate them. That's what I would do. And I wouldn't rotate them. I would alternate them. So I would do Healthy Gut for 2 days, Gutsu for 2 days, Healthy Gut for 2 days, Gutsu for 2 days. I would rotate them like that. That's what I would do with something that is a big problem with fur balls.
The best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Dorinda, she's got thoughts on animals.
When you're using feline Gutsu,
yeah,
you also are. Oh, hang on, guys. You also are supporting the bladder, right? I don't ever do this, but my boyfriend just left, and he left my dog's door open. Honey, you have to stay in, Papa.
You know what else I was going to suggest for the flea and tick thing? If you have the luxury of having some property and being allowed, Julie also has guinea hens, and they gobble those things up.
Oh, that's why I have
breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Yeah.
I love my guinea hens, but oh my gosh, I don't know whether I'd have them if I didn't have ticks. They're so loud. Oh my God. They are like deafening loud. I said to my boyfriend the other day, will you please build me a guinea hen house? Because they're like ruining my vibe in the chicken coop. I love them to death. They're like weird, quirky, loud, screaming, ET looking birds. And I love, and they're so bizarre. I love them, but when I go I'll go into my chicken coop, and I have some ducks too, and I'll go into the chicken coop, and normally I hear this like almost like a cooing sound, like a duck, like they can make these cooing kind of sounds, right? Like it's very calm and chilled out, and they're kind of cluck 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 clucking kind of deal. It's so calm, and then all of a sudden something will set off my guinea hens, and I cannot even it's like deafening. Like I have to go like this and run it. But they eat like 50 times their weight in ticks. Like they're just amazing. Like
Yeah.
I've hardly seen any this year since I got them. So I love them. I love them.
Okay. Sorry to get off topic there, but just to build off of that, Robin says thanks. She's asking about feline gut soothe. And then I've got another question here. Oh gosh, where was it? About feline gut soothe that I saw. Is regular gut soothe safe for cats? I bought it for my cats, but then I saw afterwards that there's a gut soothe that's specifically for cats.
Well, it's not that it's not safe, but there's too much aloe in it for my liking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some people say that it's fine, but if you buy the regular gut soothe,
yep,
I would not use more than half the recommended dose that it recommends for your pet size. So, I would only do half dose. Did you just buy it?
Who was it asking about the gut soothe? Was it Robin? Oh, I answered that.
Anyway, find out. Whoever out there asked about, you bought regular gut soothe for your cat, and then you found out there's feline gut soothe. You can probably return it and get the feline gut soothe.
Yeah, it was C. Vaughn and Robin. You guys just
say that. Yeah.
You guys
if you bought the wrong one, just take it back.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, and then, yes, I have to ask Dorinda's question. That's right. Thoughts on animals that form abscesses repeatedly over time in the same spot, and the abscess opens up on its own to drain, but it leaves a hole behind. Is there a reason it keeps happening in the same place on the body? Do you have any ideas to promote healing? Thank you.
Sometimes people think that sebaceous cysts are abscesses, and they're not abscesses, they're sebaceous cysts. So they're a sebaceous gland that has that doesn't have a proper sphincter to allow the sebaceous oil to come out normally on the skin, and then it gets plugged, and then it builds up, and then it explodes, and it can leave like a big divot. That it sounds like a sebaceous cyst, because abscesses are usually from foreign material, right? So a sliver, I don't know, something that's in the body that the body thinks is foreign, and it surrounds it with white blood cells to keep it in jail, and then it creates inflammation and more white blood cells, and serum and stuff, and then it tries to push whatever is in there out. So either there's something stuck in there, like some little foreign, I don't know, piece of wood or sliver of some kind, or it could be a sebaceous cyst. So sebaceous cysts are, I would be if it's in the same spot repetitively, I would say that it's probably one of the, I would take it to your vet and find out, because both are treated similar but different. And then homeopathy is like the boss for stuff like that. You can give homeopathic remedies for reoccurring sebaceous cysts or reoccurring abscesses. The sebaceous cysts are remedies to decrease decrease scar tissue and promote the sphincter or the gland opening to be able to function correctly. And then the homeopathic remedies, if it's an abscess, is to help the body either, sometimes the foreign body is so small, you can open it up with a scalpel and never find it, because the body's almost broken it down so much that you can't see it with the naked eye, but the body knows it's there. So the homeopathic remedies can help to either push it out or help the body dissolve it completely so it stops reacting.
Awesome.
But you kind of know which one's which.
Yeah. Definitely, Dorinda, ask your vet to make sure what exactly it is.
Yeah.
And if you want, we can give you a hand too, questions@adoredbeast.com, after you figure out exactly what it is, an abscess or a sebaceous. Fitzgerald has a question. Do you have any suggestions for treatment of bridging spondylosis C4 to L2 in a 13-and-a-half-year-old neutered male Labrador Retriever? He's currently getting acupuncture monthly, prolotherapy weekly, massage therapy weekly, and hydrotherapy weekly.
Yeah. So I have a horse with almost exactly the same thing. And Jump for Joints has actually saved his life, I think. And I give it to him a lot. I give it to him like 3 and 4 times a day. The other remedy, homeopathic remedy that's really good, is something called phosphoric acid. And I give that to him. You can get a hold of Andrea Ring if you want to put Andrea Ring's name in there. She would be able to give you a potency and actually supply you with the remedy, because it's not an easy remedy to get. But and collagen, making sure that he's got all 3 types of collagen in his food, and stuff like superoxide dismutase, lots and lots of antioxidants to decrease the inflammatory response in the body in general. And Jump for Joints is really good. But collagen, phytosynergy, because of the superoxide dismutase, you're doing all the really good therapeutic things, that's for sure. And phosphoric acid. That's what I would do. That's what I've done with my horse. Oh, and you know what? And really, really, really good CBD oil, is very helpful too if it's pinching on a nerve.
Awesome. Thank you. AW is asking, should I submit my questions here instead of the Q&A? No, if you wouldn't mind, please putting them in the Q&A. Actually, yours is next here, but we have a huge queue, so bear with us, and I appreciate your patience. AW is asking, for a dog that has a histamine dominance, what would you suggest? I've had to eliminate all fermented foods, fruits, and veg until we can get this under control.
So what would I recommend?
For a dog that has a histamine dominance.
Yeah. Oh, in general, what do I recommend? So in general, I know I'm not trying to just keep putting people over to Andrea, but Andrea's getting so busy that she can hardly take any more patients. But if you were to talk to her and tell her that, she might even be able to do something acutely with you, because there is a homeopathic remedy called histaminum that's really good. But things that decrease the histamine response, like quercetin, like Again, phytoplankton, liver tonic. Liver tonic is massive for histamine, because histamine is regulated in the liver. So you want to make sure that their liver is really, really, really healthy. And yeah, so superoxide dismutase or phytoplankton, liver tonic, Fido's Flora. But for men, if you can't, I think, because histamine is so related to different pathways, right? And it's why does it have that histamine charged reaction? She could try Fido's Flora because of the autoimmune and IgA part of it, but liver tonic, phytosynergy, and and quercetin would be something that I would be looking at for sure. And I would try Fido's Flora. I really would, because the chelation, the detoxification, because sometimes histamine will get really, the histamine dominance will get really high because of the overabundance of heavy metals, and because of the pathways are blocked. So I would try Fido's Flora and see the reaction of Fido's Flora. So and then the other thing, look back. See, this is stuff that Andrea would ask you. Look back, and I don't know when this dog was vaccinated, but sometimes that we've seen that lots at my clinic where a vaccine has triggered a mast cell and histamine response. So, things like anti-vaccinosis or homeopathic histaminum or homeopathic carcinosin I've used. Andrea would really be able, if the dog is really bad, because you really don't want to go around with high levels of histamine for long periods of time, I would give Andrea a call. And in the meantime, liver tonic, phytosynergy, Flora, and quercetin are the things that come to my mind.
Awesome, Julie. Thank you. I just put andrearing.ca. That's her website for anyone who wants to look her up. Okie dokie. Do we have time for one more?
Yeah.
Fitzgerald squeezed in there again. Is there anything that I should be doing special for my 14-year-old spayed female lab mix who had her spleen removed, no cancer, last year?
Well, anything to do with blood, right? So, I know I'm not trying to push phytosynergy, but the amazing thing about that is because of the amino acid profile, because of the microscopic ability for it to be absorbed in the body, I find that it's really, really helpful for any kind of cellular dysfunction, right? So cellular, that's what we want to be careful of with the spleen, right? Is cleaning the blood, producing blood. It's something that you want. I'm sure you could probably ask some really good TCM therapists, so Chinese medicine doctors. They would probably recommend to get spleen, right? They would probably recommend feeding organic spleen, and probably going on an organ therapy. So I know that Karen Becker, Dr. Becker, with Mercola, they have some organ stuff. They have glandulars, so the glandular might be really good too. But you could definitely talk to a Chinese medicine, because there's lots of different glandulars out there that would probably be very, very helpful for a dog that doesn't have its spleen, and feeding spleen. I mean, that's one of the first things that I do with hemangiosarcoma. If a dog has hemangiosarcoma, or if they've had to have the surgery where they removed it, I make sure that I feed organic spleen. So
awesome. That's great. Hey, Julie, thanks for hanging out tonight and spending the last...
I know there's 14 more questions. You can ask one more.
Yeah. And hey, if we didn't get to your question, I hang out in our Facebook inbox nearly all day. Our product specialist, Kaylin, does too. So please send us your questions. And Kaylin, our product specialist, also answers the questions at adoredbeast.com email. And like, we're here to help.
I get them, right? Like, I mean,
yeah.
if Kaylin can't answer them, and she's Kaylin's been working with me with customer support for a really, really long time. So what she can't answer, she sends to me for help anyway. So, don't be worried if you don't get your question answered, because we will.
Awesome. Okay, so Trish has a question. I have a cat that was diagnosed with IBD. She's had some homeopathics over the past couple of years and is much better. Would this new probiotic be good for her, or would she need a whole program?
The new cat probiotic, oh yeah, when it comes out. But in the meantime, feeling Gutsu is so incredible for IBD. It's amazing. And so is phytoplankton. Phytoplankton is actually being tested, research for inflammatory bowel disease in people. So I have so many cats, I can't even tell you how many cats with inflammatory bowel disease on Gutsu and phytosynergy, and they're doing like they're board certified internal medicine specialists and stuff. Just they can't believe how well they're doing. They're doing incredible.
That's great. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's do one more. Let's just do one more.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Trish wants to know if all birds get these mites or just pigeons.
Well, chickens can get them. Lots of birds can get mites. Yeah, like I don't know if all birds can, but pigeons can, chickens can, turkeys can. I think mites are fairly common in birds.
Yeah.
But don't quote me, because I'm definitely not an avian specialist.
Yeah. Okay, last one.
If you're worried about that, you could, these Finecto people, they were really knowledgeable.
Awesome. Can anti-vaccinosis be used if weaning a dog off of topical flea medication, or is liver tonic a better choice? I'm on the journey to take them off conventional flea meds.
Well, again, reactivity is, if you really want to reduce fleas, it's like vacuum, wash their bedding lots, flea comb them lots. Liver tonic is excellent because you want their bodies to be clean as possible. And you want their gut to be healthy. There's just no way, shape, like just you need their immune system to be really strong. So I would say Fido's Flora, liver tonic, and I wouldn't say anti-vaccinosis. I would say liver tonics, Phytoflora, and phytosynergy to keep their immune system as strong as possible. And use that. Go on and get whatchamacallit, go on to Wonderside and use Wonderside. You can use it in your house, you can use it on your lawn, you can use it on the dog's body.
Great. Thank you, Julie. That's awesome. I'll put our email questions at adoredbeast.com. If we didn't get to your question, I'm sorry, but holy heck, did we ever get a lot of them. And we're so grateful for everyone that joined us. Thank you so much. We're back next week with the two crazy cat ladies. Bring your questions. It's all about cats.
Mm-hmm.
And we're thrilled. We've not done a cat one yet, have we?
No.
Yeah. It's going to be lots of fun. Thank you, everyone. Fitzgerald says thank you.
Everybody.
Lots of love. Everyone have a great night.